Welcome, Sharpies. Tonight's episode is brought to you courtesy of this amazing Amazon, a strided pon yonder invisible thunderbeast who clip-clopped into our eardrums and collective consciousness with the release of the Renaissance album. Just over 1 hour of new music, house-inspired beats, very sexy, classic Beyonce with 742 producers and lots of interpolations and shout-outs and callbacks. Grace Jones is on this record. Big Frida. Tina Marie is interpolated. There's some Donna Summer influence on here. There's
Everyone that ever made you dance is on this
everyone.
album.
Everyone. And it's not just dance music, although there's a lot of really good dance music on here. But it is it is super black. It is as black as the background that frames the Amazonian queen and her
The thunder horse between her thunder thighs.
between her thunder thighs, because them thighs is chunky. Thighs. This is definitely post-birth thigh
Right.
meat.
Please understand that if I had this body, I would dress exactly like this for all my corporate Zooms, for going to the store, for
And-
church. It doesn't matter.
And I would definitely be there to take the pictures because, madam, do you know how old her twins are?
No.
Her twins are like 5 now, or some crazy age.
Wait,
maybe
we should
3.
we should probably show up on the show.
We gonna show up on the show? Oh, we could do
Yes.
that. I mean, we were still talking about Beyonce, but hello everyone. I am Tom Cunningham,
And I am Joy Stevens.
and this is Steel Sharpens Steel. We
I'd like to
have
make a
go ahead.
special note before we start the show that someone has cracked the code and has beaten Anthony Turner into the room. Oh, CJ. Hey, CJ. Number
And-
one, first through the door.
and it is by picoseconds because Anthony Turner actually has the exact same timestamp. as
Exactly.
CJ.
And Mark, we got you, all of y'all right there.
Yeah, y'all were stacked. Y'all were stacked for real.
Anthony tried to get extra credit coming in on Facebook and YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. But he did. CJ, you win the prize tonight.
Mhm.
You win the Thunder Beast thighs of Beyonce's Renaissance horse.
In
That's
your
you.
eyes. Yes. But for real, like I used to joke with people, like if I ever got, that's why God gives me no willpower, because if I ever got super fine, I would run around and like postage stamps and like dental floss all day, just enough to stop from going to jail. Like that would be it. And that's what she's wearing with the Thunder Horse. And I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm
it
here for
is.
it. I'm here for it. Celebrate your body, girl. Because let me tell you, if I had it, I would flaunt it. Capital F, capital L, capital A, capital
Flaunt.
U, capital N, capital T, three exclamation points. Flaunt.
Flaunt. Flaunt. That, as a matter of
Mhm.
fact, that should be a track on this album. There should be a track called Flaunt
Flaunt.
because there's plenty of flaunting going on.
Hmm.
Um, that was a way to start the show. We were off last week, and so in the interim, since this album has dropped, it is topping the Billboard 200, which is the album charts. The first single was number one on the Hot 100, and every other single in the album is like in the top 60. Every other single on the record. And granted, it's the streaming era, and so perhaps that's not all that
Hmm.
uncommon, but it's still pretty amazing. Every single one of her singles is already on the Hot 100, so that's pretty impressive, and that's a positive thing because the rest of the content for this week is some pretty hot trash.
I
Uh,
mean, it's hot trash, but oh, it has me over here. Now, I will tell you, this is not wine. This is just something I wanted to sip on so I could go.
well, that was an aggressive slurp.
I think I aspirated some juice.
Don't blame it on your juice. You got to blame it on your juice, baby.
Mhm.
So let's get into it. Tonight's is about everybody's favorite Cheeto. Do not pass Mar-a-Lago. Go directly to jail
You're going to
because
jail.
you go into jail. I mean, look, let's be honest. None of us is sure that Cheeto-face is actually going to see the inside of a jail.
I
I
doubt
will
it.
just say that literally the only reason that he is not going to jail is because the Constitution is just ambiguous enough to not put any constraints on him that will result in him being criminally liable for things that happened while he was sitting in the office. All the January 6th is horrible. It was terrible. It was not contemplated by the people who wrote the Constitution, nor any of the people who amended the Constitution. There was never an idea. They talk about an unprecedented FBI raid. It is unprecedented for an American president not to turn over power.
I
That is
mean,
also
at what
unprecedented.
point did the originators of the Constitution think that the president would lead the insurrection against the government?
Against the government. It was incomprehensible and so
Mhm.
therefore not allowed for. And since it wasn't allowed for, he's negotiating the pleats of his broadly drawn and poorly tailored suits to slither through the cracks. However, the people who cannot slither through the cracks is everyone who worked for him.
Mhm.
And so there's all of these people who are in a ton of trouble. Rudy Giuliani trying to play, oh, I'm sick, oh, I've had a stent, oh, I can't travel, let me just do this video. The judge in Georgia was like, yeah, so nope. If you can't fly, how about a bus
That part.
or an Uber? So what you gonna do
You
is
can reach me by
I
railway.
know that's right. You can reach me by trailway. You can
I
reach
don't
me
care how you get here. Just bring your ass on.
right. Bring your ass to the ATL, and that's
Exactly.
that's what he has to do. And oh, by the way, our best friend Lil Lindsay, the judge got something for you too. No, girl, you don't get to delay the testimony. You don't get to continue to argue.
No.
You don't get to pretend like that phone call you made when you were neither in your Senate office nor on the Senate floor, calling about changing and undoing the election of a state that was not yours. You don't get to do that. You don't get to actually certify anything. All you do is say, "Yep, these are the ballots." That's all you do.
That's all you're supposed to do.
And don't try to pretend. Don't try to say, "Oh, blah 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 blah." Nobody's buying it. No one is buying anything except that Trump is difficult to grab. That's the only thing people are saying. But everybody else, Steve Bannon, Rudy
That
Giuliani, Sidney Kraken, all of these fake electors in Georgia, all of the lawyers that were trying all the Eastman, all these phones that they've taken, everybody but Trump
But Trump.
is
And he's always planned it that way.
he's planned it that way. He has no shield. But see, here's what I think is where he's going to have a Nathan Jessup moment, because he is simultaneously attempting to hold in the minds of his followers that he was absolutely in control and also knew nothing. And there's going to be a time when uh, I know that he's going to try that, and somebody's going to say, but you didn't know anything. You didn't know you had nuclear
Mm-hmm.
secrets, right? You didn't
Right.
know you had classified documents, right? You didn't know that any of these things happened because you don't know anything, which is why you should never be president again.
They're
And
calling it Schrodinger's paradox. It's like, can you imagine him saying this? Schrodinger's treason. When you didn't take, accidentally took, innocently used, declassified, and then took, or took and then declassified the documents that you never took and were illicitly planted in your house by the FBI, all simultaneously.
I mean, that's basically what he's asking people to believe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it doesn't matter because I had a standing order to declassify 18 representatives of the Trump administration, including his former chiefs of staff, his national security advisor, a second chief of staff, any number of functionaries are all like, yeah, that functionally would never have
Right.
worked. I mean, that's just bullshit. You can't just say, I took it to the bedroom. First of all, nobody believes you were working in the bedroom. The only thing you were working in the bedroom was trying to find your dick when you had to pee at night. That's the
I
only
mean,
thing
that
you
could
were
keep him
doing.
up all night.
Oh, it could keep him up. I'm not saying it wouldn't. I'm just saying that that was the only work you were doing. You got out of bed, ate an egg McMuffin, sat
Or
down,
four.
or four, looked at Fox and Friends, stumbled out around 11:35 for to walk past a security briefing, and then pressed a button on your desk for a Diet Coke, and then called Putin and and yelled at people and made bad jokes and then toddled back to bed. That was your daily calendar. And oh, I forgot, shredding documents and trying to flush them down the toilet. There was that.
Okay. First of all, Chan, we didn't told you about this before.
Okay, what did
These long
Chan
ass
say?
messages, but
Oh,
he got jokes. So here's the message.
not
Can't even
MTG.
see
It's
us over it.
O Dog.
Ever since rewatching Minister Society a few days ago, I picture conservative figureheads as characters from the movie. Marjorie Taylor Greene is old dog,
Yep.
America's worst nightmare,
Lorenz
just
Tate.
shooting from the hip. Trump is the OG that everyone looks up to, and Alex Jones is Bill Duke looking at himself in the mirror saying,
You
"You
know
know
you
you
done
done
fucked
fucked up,
up.
right?"
I'll buy that because that is definitely true. We
Mhm.
talked about Alex and his 50 something plus $1 million judgment. So here's the stick. Texas has a cap on tort payments. However, the shooting incident took place in Connecticut, and all of the families live in Connecticut. So
Mhm.
they're also suing in Connecticut. So they don't have those limits in Connecticut, which
Mhm.
is interesting since it's the insurance capital of the country. You would have thought that maybe there'd be some caps that they put on there, but they didn't.
No,
So that means Alex is, yeah, they're getting everything, Alex. They're
all of it,
everything.
all of it.
There will be nothing left for you.
Matter of fact, let me get the food out your refrigerator. It's all
Yeah,
gone.
all of it, all of
Mhm.
it. We'll leave you with some Weetabix biscuits
And your dead skin cells on your ashy ass elbow.
and some of these Japanese crunchy peanuts from the 99 cent store.
Right. And an empty water bottle for you to refill from the rain that drops on your tent under the bridge.
Right. Or you can use that to filter your urine. Either way, your
Either
choice.
way.
So basically, Lil Lindsay was trying to say that he could do no wrong because of this clause in the Constitution that says if a senator is on the floor, making comments. He can't be prosecuted for stuff he's saying on the floor. He's trying to do his job. He's, and somebody may take offense at that, but because he's doing his job, you can't, anybody could take offense. And so we just give you a blanket pass. You get to say what you
Mhm.
want to say in the conduct of your job. What it does not mean, however, is that anything you do just because you happen to be a senator automatically is covered by that protection.
You are not above the law.
You're not
And that
above the law.
that that statute is meant to say, if I call you a lily-livered lick spittle in the middle of my discussion, or if I say you cur, you
Right.
scoundrel, scallywag, and you start name calling as they tended to do back in let's not forget Congress used to come to blows. They
Oh
used to
yeah.
have duels. They regularly tried to assassinate each other. But that's why we're trying to make America great again, so we can assassinate each other. But
Nattering
that's what
nabobs
that
of
is for, so that
negativity.
you
Yeah.
cannot be. People take offense to that. They get mad. You talk about somebody, mama, whatever, whatever. Call them, lying tech, who's whatever. You can't prosecute for that. But straight up fire in a crowded theater lies. You
No,
can
it's
never
not.
do that. That
No,
is
it's
never
not
protected
covered.
by the Constitution. You
Never.
cannot libel or slander someone else. Name calling and telling lies are two
For
different
two
things.
different things. And this is why it's a little bit difficult to even keep track of everything that's going on in Trump world. So, uh, right now there are three huge things going on in Trump world. So there's the January 6th, which of course has occupied all the attention. Liz Cheney, whose political career is currently in free fall because she lost her primary, so she will not be reelected to Wyoming's sole House seat. And the person who replaced her started off her primary win by lying and saying that Liz Cheney didn't call her to concede. And then, of course, Liz Cheney immediately put out the receipts where it wasn't a long concession message. It wasn't super gracious. But
Now
she
that
said,
is one
hey,
thing.
it's been called.
Mhm.
And hi, it's Liz Cheney. And congratulations on your win. Bye bye.
Yeah,
That's all it was.
that's all you're gonna get.
That's all you're gonna get because you're trash. But then
Mhm.
she says she just called and said, "Hello, it's Liz Cheney." Click, which is just a lie.
Who would do
So
that?
there's the whole January 6th stuff that is swirling around him. Probably he's not going to be touched on that. The one thing that they might be able to get him on, if they were able to pin him on obstruction because of witness tampering, because that happened after he was out of office, that could be something. But unlike
Mhm.
Bill Clinton, he doesn't have a law license or anything like that. He can't be legally suspended from doing his duties as a blah blah blah, an agent of the court
Right.
for this sort of thing. And he just decide he has not been sworn in any January 6th stuff. It's a witch hunt, so he's going to stay away from that. That's one big
Mhm.
cloud of stuff that includes the Georgia stuff, which is where Lindsay is implicated right now. Lindsay is
Right. Even
implicated in the
though
Georgia
Lindsay is
stuff
not from, or has nothing to do with
with
Georgia,
Georgia. No.
and he never should have stuck his nose in here in the first place. He should have
No.
minded her business.
I mean, except when he might have Grinder open as he drives through Georgia.
I
So
mean, but
there's January 6th stuff, right? Then there's the New York stuff, and the New York stuff is where
that's
our
the money stuff.
that's the money stuff. That's the Trump organization stuff. So that's Letitia James, who finally called him to testify. He said, "I plead the fifth 400 plus times. I think it was
One, two, three, four.
441 times. Fifth. So 444 times, and this is how
Wait,
I
wait,
love the
wait.
petty.
You made
Yeah,
that number up, right?
I did not. It's more than 400 times. Eric Trump did it 500 times when he went in there because instead of letting him get off by saying, "I'm going to plead the fifth to everything," and then just walking out, she said, "I have a few questions for you." And so she posed each one of the questions and made him say,
I plead the
either
fifth.
on the advice of counsel, I da 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 da, or I'm sure it started out that way, and by the time he had eaten his fifth Big Mac, it was like fifth,
Hmm.
fifth, 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 441 times. So there's that. Now the
I can hear
scoop,
it now.
yeah,
Can you
fifth,
imagine him like
fifth,
try to do an impression of Chappelle?
right.
So many amendments to the Constitution of the
The
United
one that
States
I
of
love is a
America.
fifth.
I can only choose one. I can only choose one. I plead the fifth.
If
I watched Chappelle's show way too many times.
Yeah, Chappelle's show is actually an amazing show. I have to say one of my favorite episodes, the Wayne Brady episode. However,
Mhm.
um, the scoop that happened this week,
Yes.
just within the last 48 hours on Letitia James's case, is that his CFO, the guy who has been with the Trump organization when Fred Trump was running things, Weisselberg, years and years and years, decades and decades and decades of running it, he pled guilty
Mm-hmm.
in the tax fraud criminal investigation. So this isn't Letitia, but it's Letitia adjacent because they
Yes.
shut down the criminal investigation about the false valuation of Trump properties because they couldn't get anybody
Because
to
he's
do
not a
any,
millionaire.
because he's certainly not a billionaire. And
Mhm.
so uh, they had to shut it down. And then that's why Trump was pleading the fifth in the civil case. Letitia James can still bring the civil case because she can use the fact that he pled the fifth against him in the
Mhm.
civil case.
Now, here's the
So,
only thing that I care about.
yes,
If you are convicted of a felony,
yes,
period, you
yes.
cannot run for higher office.
That is not in the Constitution.
Damn it.
It is
It's an
politically.
understanding,
It
but
is
it's not
well,
in the
just
Constitution.
like turning in your tax returns since the 70s has been an
Right.
understanding. But he
You know,
flouted that as well.
we've been giving this guy passes. Well, we haven't, but the Tea Party, which evolved into the alt right, has been
Right.
giving him passes since he was campaigning for the 20 what was it 2016 election,
16. Yeah, it's because
where
he
everybody released
called
their tax returns. Would you support the other candidate? No, I won't. He was trying to lose, and he couldn't. It was like Brewster's Millions. He just throwing stuff around left and right,
and it
and
just
ended
keeps
up being
winning.
rewarded for it.
Just keeps winning.
Just,
And
yeah.
so he's flouted tradition. For anybody else, it would probably be politically untenable. Now, what I would say is that if he is convicted, it
Mhm.
would be much more difficult to call it a witch hunt because it will be, he's not a president anymore. So
Right.
it's going to be, citizens will do this.
You just a
And
regular ass
so
mobster now.
and so it would be very difficult. It wouldn't be difficult for him to win. I think he could probably still win, but I think it would be more difficult for the non-Trumpite sections of the Republican Party who
Just
still say law and order, who still say family values, who still say this, that, and the third, to endorse a convicted felon. Now, I don't disagree, Chan, that the FBI lets him off for the documents part. However, that only works if, as you say, the deal is that he won't run again. They can't say he can't run again, but
right.
I think if
Won't
he
agree
agrees that he
not to run
won't,
again. Yeah.
then they may let it go. Because at the end of the day,
But
despite what
here's
everybody's saying, because this is now we're segueing
mhm.
into the third thing, which is Mar-a-Lago. Now, despite what everybody's saying, Rudy Giuliani, they have tried 6 different defenses.
Mhm.
First is that there wasn't anything left, and then they had that signed document from June saying they had
Mhm.
turned everything over.
Yeah.
But then they walk out with 20 boxes. So then the next thing is that I declassified it anyway. It doesn't matter,
We didn't.
except that the classification level of the documents also doesn't matter.
Mhm.
It's simply that they belong to the government and you took them.
Right.
And we asked for them. You told us you gave them back.
Right.
You didn't give them back. We thought that there was some important stuff. And so we had to go down and get the important stuff. And look, lo and behold, the important stuff was there. Then it was, they planted it. But that doesn't work because they gave you a sheet of everything that they took. They also tried to say, nobody was there. Nobody could see anything. They told everybody to leave. And of course, then it comes out that they were actually looking at the whole proceedings on
Mhm.
video as they were
Mhm.
walking through. So they've tried all of these different things, and the bottom line is that even Laura Ingraham, right wing Fox talking bubblehead, has trouble with the position. Let's take a look at her talking to this new Trump lawyer Barbie,
Mm-hmm.
attorney Bob.
Just move past.
Sorry to interrupt, but was there a limited number of people who had access to that storage room? It seems like a pretty important room, right? Since they've made such a big deal of it and have the
Right.
lock on it and so forth. So were there a limited number of people who could go in and out?
Yes,
Or
absolutely.
have access to
certainly
it?
Mar-a-Lago. Certainly, Mar-a-Lago is secure in and of itself. Just getting onto the compound is hard. And then it was a locked door, and getting, back down into the basement, there's security. You can't just walk down there. Only certain members of staff can get there, and then there's only one key. So, yes, it's a very limited number of people that have access down there. And it was enough to where President Trump believed, or our team believed, that it was secure enough. They asked for one more lock, add another lock, which we did. And then, for whatever reason, they decided that they still needed to raid the place.
And only one or two people had access to that room, to your knowledge?
That's my understanding. I mean, I would have to check with, the maintenance of that area, but my understanding it is a very small number of people that could get in there.
Are you?
Okay, so let's break down a couple of things.
Just because you added another high school combination lock to the door
First of
doesn't
all,
make it secure.
What needed to be secured if there wasn't anything there?
Right.
So that's one.
Schrodinger's treason. Remember,
Right.
there's nothing here. But if there was something here, look at all these locks, how secure it is. Even though there's nothing in here, anything you take out of here wasn't here.
But
You
also,
plant whatever you take out of here, you planted in here
First of
before
all-
you got here.
when did you add the lock? Before or after you turned over all of the documents that you said you turned over when you actually didn't? And by the way, Mar-a-Lago is basically a hotel. It's a
Yeah.
house and a hotel. You
Anybody
can
can
claim
do that.
you can claim all you want. A Chinese woman with malware on USB drives walked onto property with a laptop and 7 Chinese manufactured cell phones, which were doubtless designed to be bloop, just dropped to different corners of Mar-a-Lago. Oh, where does Melania, where does she go to the bathroom? Bloop. Oh, there's a little cell phone there. Here's a little. She got on there. Anybody who's willing to pay $15,000 for a fundraiser plate can walk in there and get a private tour damn near anywhere. Because
So for the low price of $15,000, you too
you can have nuclear
commit
secrets.
treason. Yeah.
Look at this resort filled with fabulous documents. Dun 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 dun.
Financial documents, national security documents, Area 51 documents. You can have it all for the low price of a plate of badly fried chicken.
We've got all the documents. We got the very best documents. The best
They're not here,
staples.
though.
The
They're
best
not
magic
here.
markers on the redactions of the documents. Everything that we have, we've got the best Sharpies for the documents. So when you have to draw things on the maps of the documents, everything
Point
is
of order.
documents.
We've got the best Sharpies. I just want
We
you to
do
know
have the
that.
best Sharpies. Yes. Look, I see what you did.
See what I did there?
We actually have the best Sharpies. We absolutely do.
You
So
know,
go ahead.
Danny's got a thing here. He said the funny thing is, why would they plant the documents? Why would they plant unclassified stuff since Trump's supposed to be classified? Why would you go? That'd be like me handing you my bills. Like, why? That you have nothing to do with that. It doesn't even matter to you. Why would they plant stuff and then go and find the stuff that they planted if it's declassified in the first place? That goes back to that Schrodinger's treason. If you say nothing is there, then what are you protecting?
Why
And if
did
you're
you add a
protecting
lock?
something, then why won't you show it? And if you said you gave it up, then what are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm
Why?
gonna say something real ugly and real mean and in poor spirits. And I will have to talk to Jesus about this when I see him. But I want to know why that woman got buried on a golf course.
And I want to know if
What was her name?
Melania told him, I do not want to be buried next to that woman.
She ain't in there. I'm just saying. That's what I'm saying. She ain't in there.
So you saying it's like the body
It's
of
five
Will
more boxes.
Byers from Stranger Things? It's just it's a meat puppet in a box with
This
a
is me
blonde
full of
wig.
more documents. All
Yeah,
the ones
well.
that he shredded. She is full of shreds.
Right. It's nothing nice, that's for sure.
I mean, I know
Well,
she didn't
that's
ask to be
okay.
buried there.
So here's the thing, Paul. That's not exactly true. When he declares, because right now he's fundraising through the PAC, and the PAC is supposedly about the legal fees that he's not paying to the attorneys that he stiffed. Best believe there hasn't been an attorney since November 6th or whenever the election was. There has not
No.
been an attorney who collected a single nickel from Donald Trump.
No.
All them people, Krakens, they've been eating barnacles while they've been on the sea with the Krakens. That's all they've gotten, because they ain't gotten nan from Trump. And so the RNC has been paying bills for Trump because he has not announced. If he announces, the RNC will stop paying. And if he announces, there will be caps on how much he can pay or how much he can raise from individual donors. Right now, it's all dark slush PAC money, unlimited. But as soon as he says, I'm running for president, he can now only take the max amount from any individual taxpayer from now all the way through 2024.
Right.
When the election is.
Didn't he also transfer some of the money raised for his potential campaign to his own businesses? Like,
well, he's renting from himself.
He's renting from because he never divested his businesses when he became president, which is another precedent that was broken when he became president. You're supposed to turn in your taxes, divest all of your businesses,
put yourself in a blind trust. But I mean, it was Eric is blind enough. It's not like any of them kids know what the hell they actually doing. So, I mean, what difference could it possibly make?
He's not blind. He's just looking the other way.
He's willfully blind. And you've got the emolument stuff of foreign powers renting out whole floors of that hotel, which he now has to sell.
Deals with Putin for a Trump Tower in Russia or whatever.
Everything that he has done has been unprecedented. And the fact that he has been able to do it and is not able to be prosecuted for it now that he is no longer president is a really great argument for them to be some constraints added to the Constitution. Just because he might get elected again.
Right.
And if he gets elected again, there's no chance in hell you will see an attempted third term of Trump. If he gets elected again, you will see an attempted third term.
Yes,
He'll
he
go
will.
all the way back to FDR and say, if he could do it. No, you can't have it.
And this is why religion is dangerous, because people are starting to say things like Messiah in reference to him. And once you say things like that, it doesn't matter how criminal he is. It is all to serve God.
Right.
And there are some fundamental Christians that are out here talking about God bless him, God sent him, God, he is God's chosen, and he can do no wrong because God is on his side. And when you start talking like that, you can commit any kind of atrocity, as has been seen by Christian violence over the last 700 or 800 years.
You know who also thought that they were anointed by God and were very bitter when it turned out that God had different ideas? Lucifer Morningstar.
Hey, you leave Lucifer alone. Wait, you talking about the actual devil? I thought you meant the TV show. Yeah, Lucifer Morningstar thought he could do no wrong. Yeah.
No, exactly. Now
that's exactly the only reason that the devil is cast out of heaven is because he won't apologize.
Right.
Think about it.
And
he will not admit he's wrong. He will not humble himself. And so he stays burning forever and ever and ever.
And if you want to see an excellent representation of Lucifer Morningstar, I heartily entreat you to watch The Sandman on Netflix, because episode 4 is, I mean, literally fire, but also emotionally and figuratively fire.
Sandman is a good show.
It's a great show.
We can segue into some of the new shows that are out towards the end of the show.
Yeah, we can. Because that'll segue into my podcast, which I'm going to be doing after this one. But yeah, it's the way that Trump is going right now. I put on my page, it is absolutely disgusting how the news is filled with all of the crimes and allegations of all of our living past presidents. Oh, wait. There's literally only one. We've got Baby Bush, we got Clinton, we've got Obama, we've got Carter. Carter building houses.
Y'all, Jimmy Carter is still out here at the age of 107, still building houses with his bare hands.
Now that's a president who got played. That's a president who got played by high gas prices
Mm-hmm.
and
He never
Iran.
got his due.
Never got his due. Over the
He was a good
bicentennial,
man.
I got all them damn quarters, and we lived in DC during the bicentennial, and it was an awesome time to be American. And he was simple and quiet and a gentle man,
And
and
humble
has
and just
only become more so exponentially since he left
he
the
is
office.
somewhere in at 9:20 at night building a house right now, somewhere in the suburbs or the outskirts of Georgia.
And
Yes.
that's what CJ said. Survived brain cancer, still building houses.
Yes.
And you know what Trump's biggest contribution to the GOP has been? Supplanting Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan, who was supposed to be the iconic standard bearer of everything Christian and conservative
And
and
family
family
values and law
centered.
and
I mean,
order. And he was the
notwithstanding the
original Make
divorce
America
and
Great Again. That was
exactly,
Ronald
he was
Reagan's slogan.
1,000 points of lights, shining city on a hill, all of that. Gone into the memory hole. Nobody even remembers him anymore. There was nobody before Trump as far as the GOP is concerned now. Nobody. And all of these people who are finally retiring, these people, these older politicians who are just out here and they're deciding, you know what, I just can't do it anymore. And giving the Democrats pickup opportunities. Let's be clear. Giving Democrats pickup opportunities.
You know, I want to take a moment and I want to appeal to the people who are supporting Donald Trump. If by some accident you got on the wrong list and you are watching this show, I want you to take a moment and I want you to think about this. If I told you that Obama refused to turn over his power after Trump got elected, if I told you that there was a suspicion that Hillary Clinton had some financial documents that belonged to the White House or even to the government in her car or anywhere, if I told you that Bill Clinton had a conversation with anyone from Russia, even in the past 10 years, let alone when he was in office, you would raise holy hell.
Holy
And you
hell.
would say that this is not what we do. This is not America. We don't do those things. Our government should be held to a higher standard. And so I ask you now, why are you not holding your favorite candidate to any standards at all, let alone a higher standard? He has broken almost every norm that there was when it comes to being a president. And I understand you wanted somebody that was not in with the corporate bigwigs, even though he is one or was one, and that he didn't. You believe that he financed his campaign with his own money when he did not. You believe that he was a billionaire when he did not. You believe that he had family values when he does not. You believe that he loved his kids and he does not. You believe that he was going to tell the truth when he was in office. He did not. You thought he was going to release his taxes and he did not. He is a million points of not. And yet here you are saying that you want him to run again. And I ask you, if he was anything other than orange, would you think that he was the second coming of anybody?
Would you
Or can you admit
think?
that you potentially have an irrational attachment to him because he represents the things that you also hate? Namely,
Attachment.
immigrants, Black and brown people, poor people, independent women,
Hate the
all the things that
colors.
represent progress. If you hate those things, he's your guy. Not because he's a good guy, but because he hates what you hate. Sit with that. Sit with that and think about that. And then I dare you, I double dog dare you to tell people you voted for him if he runs again.
I mean, the fact that they can turn off their brain hole so that words stop coming into the ears, and so it just like bounces away, because they're sitting here just like you're saying all that, and this is their brains.
Watch this. Watch this. Watch this.
That's the whole thing. That's their entire thing. It's like, but Jesus.
And Jesus wasn't white. I want y'all to
Jesus
get over
guns
that.
babies. That's what they can do. They are capable of doing that. Jesus guns babies. That's
You know,
where
I
they
was
are.
with I was with a friend in we were doing a presentation together in off site, and he's from Canada, and he said, "Can I tell you how we sum up America in
Oh
one
God.
sentence?" And I was like, "Yeah, what
Oh
is that?" He
God.
goes, "Sex is bad, yay guns." And I was like, "That tracks." Yeah, yeah, like
Hashtag SIBYG.
YG. And speaking of hashtags and acronyms, remember I said earlier, if you happen to be a member of the alt-right or the GOP or the Tea Party or anything like that, and you got here by accident, you're not alone, because somehow I have by accident, I don't know what I did, I don't know who I pissed off, I don't know who had my phone number and turned it in, but I started getting text messages from the GOP and from the RNC and from Donald Trump and from Ron DeSantis and from Marjorie Taylor Greene and from Herschel motherfucking Walker. I'm so mad. I'm so mad. And so at first, you get these random texts, stop to end, stop, capital stop, lowercase stop to end. What do I do? Stop, end, net, nine, no, zilch. What the? Yo, quit. And finally, when nothing worked, I just started trolling the shit out of them. So the new segment that I have, like every time I get one of these, my face just goes, I know you fucking lying. And it started like that. Like
Y'all,
this is
that's a fresh baked meme, by the way, because you see the outfit she wearing, right? That's her tonight outfit. So, that's fresh baked. That's right out the Irvin.
I literally made this while you was talking.
I could tell. Go ahead,
Screenshot
please
Georgia.
continue.
And so, like, this is what started happening. Look at this. Andrea, it's my first name. You sit before me this. You won't believe this. Trump state allies pick you to be a VIP today. Access your exclusive 10 times match. This is the website, 22-now.com. That's what keeps coming. And I just wrote them back. I know you fucking lying. And I sent these to Tom, and he was like, how many of these do you have? Let me show you quickly what I have been dealing with.
Oh my God. Oh my God. First of all, if it was 10 times matches so that you could burn the entire GOP down, I'd send you $1.
Exactly.
But you'd
Then
have to
here's
send
the
me
thing,
10
like I
times
get things
matches.
like I got the one I got from Herschel Walker, that motherfucker was Warnock is on our tail and he's outraising us and we've got to do something. Won't you donate now? I wrote back, Warnock forever. And then DeSantis sent me something talking about weird, because I used to have a 407 area code, so I get a lot of Florida stuff now
Oh,
too.
Florida stuff.
And so Val Demings hit me up too. I ain't mad, I'm a sorrow. So I broke off a little something. But DeSantis, we're in danger. They're trying to take our kids. Hey Val, they're trying to take our kids and they're trying to do this. That's all fear mongering. When you try to trigger someone's basic fear response by saying they're coming for your kids, they're coming for your guns, they're coming for your family, coming for your daughters, coming for your way of life, coming for your wife. All of this, it encourages, it creates homegrown domestic terrorists, because they really do believe what you tell them when they say that their way of life is in danger and their very lives are in danger unless they act now. And I've got stuff like that. I'm a Navy SEAL, and if we don't act now, this country's going to hell. And what else do I have in here? Emergency. Look at this. This is one.
Oh
text.
my God.
Yes, emergency message. They don't want you to see this.
I don't
Please
want
read this
to
before it
see
gets
it.
deleted. All this type of bullshit. Former
Well,
Navy SEAL, blah, blah, blah. Each of our campaigns has received devastating news today. This is going to be a disaster. Nancy Pelosi, blah, blah, blah. Something, something Pelosi. The truth is, Andrea, we're a group of veterans. And they are, because it takes all types. We're a group of veterans running
veterans
to
of the
save
January
America.
6th war.
All kinds of fuckery. And
Let's be clear. We saw on January 6th that people could be mobilized to violence and people would die. What we saw after the FBI Mar-a-Lago raid is a crazed person hopped up on Trump pills, ran into the Cincinnati FBI, threatening to kill agents, and he ended up being killed.
Mm-hmm.
It's not Trump's fault, but these people are getting activated. They are saying they're coming after you next. They're saying 87,000 armed IRS agents. Now, let me just tell you something, okay?
I think this is what happened. I responded stop to the first one. They're like, oh, this is a real number. Keep hitting her.
Right, and that's what it is. The stop is a lie. Just like stop the steal. So you never do that. What I do, and this is something that has worked for me. Somebody will get me. It'll be the robo, and then they'll say the Social Security, and it does not sound like like an American voice. The Social Security Administration is such a right. And it's like, please connect me now, and then click click click, and then I'm talking to somebody in Mumbai, and we have your number. I said, oh my gosh, thank you so much. So tell me what I need to do. Well, such and such and such and such. I say, hold on, let me get my wife. She works for the Social Security Administration. Honey! And then they're like, click.
Mm-hmm. I got calls like that because I run my business off my cell phone for the most part. You know, if I get an unknown number and it's from a city that I've got business in, I will answer the phone. And so I've answered the phone a couple times to hear, we wanted to let you, and I apologize for this terrible accent. I mean no disrespect. We want you to know that we have found that you need some baby formula, and we have baby formula for you and something else. I'm like, I don't need
baby formula.
Yes, I don't know why. I've gotten 6 or 7 calls about baby formula. And finally, I was like, look, I don't even have the parts to have children. I don't have children. I don't have any babies. My boobs are for recreation. So please stop trying to give me, yes, I said it. Stop giving me baby formula. And there's, you know what it is? There's a woman named Yamilka or Yamilka, Yamilka. Yamilka, if you out here, don't give nobody my goddamn phone number again, because I don't know who she is, but I've gotten messages for her, and I think they have my number as hers because she probably just put in a fake number, and it's my number, and I believe that she might be a member of the Republican Party.
Oh my gosh.
In Florida, and she'd have messed my life up. I'm not changing my number though.
No,
now I'm just trolling them. Like I wrote back to Herschel, wrote back to DeSantis, and I was like, tell the devil I said hi. Can we dance? Look, because
we're trying to keep these shows to an hour, and there are a couple of things that we need to dance through real quick because we want to keep things happening. So we've been talking about Herschel. We talked about Herschel a couple of times. Let's give you some Herschel scoop because we're pretty sure that you're aware of some of the stuff that Herschel is going on. But one of Joy's favorite TikTokers,
Uncle Dam.
If
you don't know Uncle Dam, it's either UNK Unc or Uncle Dam. Look him up on TikTok. He's brilliant. He's cute. He's a zaddy. Yeah, he's my favorite.
And he put together this video based on some stuff that my good friend Howard Stern put on. So let's take a listen about Herschel.
In a sport, and I know his name. I know he was a great player, Herschel Walker. But I don't know anything about the man, and I've only been learning stuff because he's running for Senate, and I went, hey, good for him, you know. The guy's running for Senate, must know something. Turns out the guy knows nothing. I believe he might be a moron. Herschel Walker said he was a University of Georgia graduate, but that wasn't true. The Georgia Republican said he was his high school's valedictorian, but that wasn't true. He said he was the founder of a charity for veterans, but that wasn't true. And, you know, those 3 sentences alone, I would never vote for the man. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution reports, Walker has also said he had a background in law enforcement, and that apparently wasn't true either. Like he just says it.
He was a football player.
It's like this is what Trump has brought us. You make up shit and say it. And then when they call you on it, you go, that's not true. And it's like facts don't matter, nothing. You know, I just remember when I was younger, there was a certain level you had to hit to be a politician. All right, there were some anomalies. There were some real weirdos out there. But, you know, I just remember the days of even Richard Nixon. I mean, the guy was a brilliant thinker. You might not have agreed with him or Ronald Reagan at least had an agenda and he could articulate it somewhat. You used to get fired for this shit. I mean, people used to say, well, the guy's a liar. We can't run him as a candidate. In fact, the Republican Party would even like kind of drum him out, not give him any money to run. But it doesn't matter. The explanation on this guy is that the people in Georgia love him. He can do no wrong because he played a really great game of football. And I just don't know how you go into
everything.
Yeah, especially if you have, well, I mean, if you have kids and you're worried about the future of the planet, and then you're going to vote for a guy who's like lying to your. The Cobb County Police Department told the Atlanta Journal-Constitution it has no record of Walker working with the department. The Republicans' campaign said he was an honorary deputy, a point the Cobb Sheriff's Office could not confirm, though a former DeKalb County District Attorney said the title was meaningless, even if it is true that he was a deputy, a local prosecutor said. It's like having a junior ranger badge. And now this guy is running for Senate and it's saying his qualifications are not only that he played football, got hit in the head, but that he was an honorary deputy. And he's, the Republican has pushed weird election conspiracy theories. He's repeatedly struggled to talk about important issues. And voters have also recently learned about allegations of domestic violence and other dangerous personal behavior from his past. And none of it matters. In fact,
Georgia, you have a choice. The Reverend Raphael Warnock, an excellent public servant, working hard for the residents of Georgia to make sure that their needs are taken care of, as well as safeguarding the very integrity of the United States of America by making sure that Georgia's votes are adequately and properly represented in each and every election. This November, make sure your voice is heard. Vote Raphael Warnock. And that was not my voice, so you can't prove it. So
All I'm saying is, if we keep this up, this is where we're headed.
It is. Ah! Idiocracy.
If
That's
you
right.
haven't seen this movie, you need to watch it.
It's what plants crave.
I mean, it has gone from just a ridiculous satire and spoof to freaking
Accuracy.
freaking like cautionary tale.
It's
Because
accuracy.
they have a wrestler who turns into the president. They believe everything that ads and media say, so that they're sprinkling Gatorade on plants because it's got stuff plants need, and they believe that. Yeah. Starbucks is selling porn and liquor. They already sell liquor now, and so it went from being crazy to being, you know what, we might want to keep an eye on this.
Idiocracy is frightening. Plus, Maya Rudolph, as a cryogenically preserved sex worker, it's comedic gold. It's actually an amazing film and stunningly frightening. There is good news though. We need to hold Raphael Warnock's seat. We need to pick up Marco Fubio's seat.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Val Demings. And
go. I gave her $25 today.
Well, and my good frat brother, Mandela Barnes, is actually leading Ron Johnson in Wisconsin. And if you were a member of Kappa Alpha Psi, when they try to send you those, they're going to send you some solicitations. When they send you the solicitations, they want you to split your $25 donation between the candidate and some general pack for other blue people. So I split it, and I gave Mandela $19.11 so he knows that Frat is looking out for him. And then they can get the little $6, whatever. I don't care about all that. So Mandela Barnes for Wisconsin. He's the current lieutenant governor, people. Just, so it's not like he ain't got no experience. Marcus Flowers to take out MTG. I actually agree. That's the cowboy hat, brother.
Yeah.
I don't know how likely it is that that's going to happen, but we certainly, Marcus Flowers, you deserve all the flowers you can get. We are happy to support you. We are happy to make sure that you defeat Marjorie Taylor Greene, because that would be excellent. Let's be clear, Sarah Palin did emerge as the top of the ticket candidate for that House seat that is vacant. And it looks like, thankfully, Lisa Murkowski is still going to do that. And you're absolutely right, Anthony. I'm
No,
not talking about polls. I'm not tripping at all. I'm not saying we are not playing that Hillary Clinton game.
I'm going to stop you. He is not right. That's actually why I left this up. You know, I love you, Anthony. This is only partially true. People do need to exercise their right to vote, but let's not forget more people voted in the last presidential election than had
Anybody? Yeah,
ever
absolutely.
voted before. People
Absolutely.
came out in droves. The problem with this country is that half of them hate you, and they're
That's what it
voting
is.
on
They're
their
not
hate.
voting on the. Yeah, that's what it is.
And more of them than ever came out before came out to make sure you don't get treated equally.
That's right.
That's the trouble. That is the struggle. That is the scar that never heals in this country, is that we refuse to make any sort of healing attempt with how Black people have been treated. And because they keep double, tripling, quadrupling down on this, every generation they go hard in the paint to hold on to this.
That's right.
They did it by saying, we don't care who the Republican candidate is. We're going to vote to make sure. Matter of fact, we like him even more because he's saying out loud, he's saying the quiet part out loud now.
Right.
We don't like you. We don't like Mexicans. We don't like immigrants. We don't like Muslims. We don't like anybody but God-fearing Christian, fundamentalist Christian, European white people.
And the crazy part is that they don't even fear God, not the way they acting. I mean, can I get an amen on that one? You can front like you fear God, but with all the trash you talking and the unexpurgated BS, nah.
So you don't want to kill babies. You want people to have them so that when they turn 5, you can molest them, because that's what I see going on in the GOP. Yeah, I said it. I said it with my whole chest.
And we're gonna send Beyonce with her Thunder Beast to stomp on you, child molesters. Let's keep the momentum going into this as we head into the close, because this is something that we were very pleased to see. You know, Ron DeSatan is doing the most all the time, and he calls him, very anti-woke. Today he came out. We found 20 illegal people who voted illegally. Does that include or not include Ann Coulter and the guy who voted in Florida and then drove up to his house?
They're Republicans voting illegally.
Those people were those people in the group that you got?
So
anyway,
you want to disenfranchise an entire community because 20 people who were not in that community voted illegally.
11 million people voted in Florida. 11 million people, and you found 20 people who voted quote unquote illegally. Got it. Okay, so the Florida legislature passed, and he signed into law what they were calling the Stop Woke. A judge said that, nah, you can't do that. Despite the fact that you think Twitter blocking MTG's personal account is a violation of the First Amendment, an actual violation of the First Amendment is the government restricting someone's right to speech, as in a teacher being restricted on the topic of slavery or saying anything else. And he compared it to Stranger Things fans, the Upside Down, y'all. I don't know if that makes Ron DeSatan Vecna, but he's certainly contorting himself into a very weird position in this picture. So I don't know if he is being controlled by Vecna. I'm happy to see it, though. I have no problem with him having any sort of
He's
pain.
Gorgatron.
He's what?
The Gorgatron.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Or the Gorgon, whatever they call it.
The Demigorgon.
The Demigorgon.
Or the Mind
Gorgatron
the
was
Mind Flayer.
Sorry. Anyway, he's the devil.
That sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
Before we bounce, there is a very talented political impressionist who can give us a rundown pretty much on every perspective that has been offered about Do Not Pass, Mar-a-Lago this week. So what's his name? Do you have his name?
No, I'm just saying go straight to jail.
Yeah, go straight to jail. Here we go. This is this young man's take on the big political voices of the week, talking about the big story of the week.
I can tell you is that the FBI, the dogs, right? The dogs, they broke into my home, and now they say there's espionage. I'm James Bond, shaking that stirred. They're nasty.
The Federal Bureau of Investigation. Chip, must provide a thorough explanation of the Mar-a-Lago raid. Scooby-Doo.
Joe Biden has weaponized the DOJ. If they want to find something real, go to Cancun.
FBI raid of Mar-a-Lago shows that no individual, regardless of their stature, even if you were the President of the United States, is above the law.
The FBI may have raided Mar-a-Lago, but we are going to raid the polls because I am running for governor of
The
Texas.
accuracy.
The FBI raid shows that Mr. Trump is a traitor. Sure that you do. It's just another grotesque move on the part of the Biden-Kamala regime. We're living in a banana republic, and Floridians should be angry.
In the event you decide to do your own raid, wear a mask.
If the FBI found anything, I hope it was beer, because I like beer.
Senator Leahy, what's a raid, Senator Leahy?
I love that FBI, the female body inspector.
So good. He is
Okay.
so good. Hats off to that young man.
I have to say, the Bernie Sanders and the Fauci were so incredibly on point. It was absolutely amazing. The Bill Clinton was actually very strong as well.
Yes.
Nobody knows.
I'm
how
gonna give him props on the
Democrats-
Obama. People think Obama's easy to do, but if you close your eyes, you would think that you were hearing, there's a richness to Obama's voice, kind of like that black timber.
And
I was impressed.
And he does the fall off.
Mm-hmm.
the fall off was very
Right.
good. It was actually very good all the way around. I really did enjoy him, and I have to say that despite the fact that this Cheeto dusted pretender still occupies and sucks almost all of the oxygen out, it is important to say that since we were last on our show, gas has now fallen in California for regular under $5 a gallon. Now, that probably doesn't sound too impressive to y'all, but to me, being in California and for gas to be under $5 a gallon for regular is very impressive. And I will say, since at one point I actually had to pay $6.79 for premium gas, and the last time I paid for premium gas, it was only $5.29. That $1.50 swing, because I got to get 80-ish gallons a month. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money to save. That's like getting another $1,000 a year just because gas is cheaper. And Joe Biden doesn't actually have anything to do with that. But since everybody was complaining that Joe Biden made the gas high, Joe Biden also gets the benefit of the gas going down. So the gas is going down. I'm happier. You pass this trimmed bill. The Democrats showed some teeth in outfoxing the GOP. I'm happy. And Trump has 3 horrible sets of circumstances that he is facing. He's fighting a 3-front war. And all it takes for us to help support this country, if you live in Wisconsin, if you live in Pennsylvania, you need to vote for Fetterman. If you live in Ohio, you need to vote for Ryan. If you live in Florida, you need to vote for Val Demings. If you live in Georgia, you need to vote for Raphael Warnock. If we can hold these seats, we need to hold Raphael, and if we pick up these other seats, we'll go from 50 to 54, and then you don't have to worry about Manchin or Sinema. We can get rid of the filibuster. There's so many things we can do.
I wonder if that will be the most black people in the Senate since Reconstruction.
Probably. I can't imagine a time.
Right, but also cautionary tale. Remember what happened when they realized how many black people was running shit in Reconstruction.
Well, I mean, I think it took Edward Brooke in Massachusetts, who was a Republican, to get somebody in the Senate after Reconstruction. I think he was the first one, because that was like the late 60s, I think.
Yeah, somewhere in
it was somewhere around there, and that's how long it took. So
100 years.
we can do it. We can do it. It's no longer a foregone conclusion that the red wave, quote unquote, that the red wave is going to sweep the Democrats out of the House. That's not a given anymore. Now, redistricting makes it a much heavier lift than holding the Senate and gaining seats in the Senate. But It might be possible. I dare say that the Supreme Court played their hand a little too early. It wouldn't have made too much of a difference if they had waited till after the election cycle and done this in 2023.
See, now that's where a lot of people, well, there was a lot of theories and conspiracy theories around that leak that happened with the Roe v. Wade
Oh,
overturning discussion. Like, was it on purpose? Was it an accident? Blah, 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 blah. I really don't think so. I remember even I thought for a moment that Uncle Clarence Thomas had thought to deflect some of the heat from himself by letting it leak and maybe getting somebody else in trouble. But then that was negated with his extra
oh, he put extra.
agreement. Like, yeah, I hate you more than anybody else hates you. I've been hating women. Let me show you how much I hate them. And matter of fact, I'm coming for everybody else, coming for the gays and everything too. And none of y'all gonna have rights. Even me. I hate my own marriage. Like, yeah, okay, dude.
That's a
Tell me why
lot.
you're mad, But so that negated that. But getting that leak out and forcing their hand, because then they were like, well, if you don't do it before session ends, now you got to deal with this new chick coming in. When we come back, it might throw things off. So let's go ahead and put it out. And then having that happen and I have Republican friends. I do have Republican friends. But I have Republican friends who were like, I never thought that this would happen. And that comes from wallowing in your own privilege and believing that things are just going to work for you and not remembering that the very rights that the least among you are fighting for are your rights too. And when it started to rub off on them, like, wait, remember I told you like the white girl, like, wait, what? Yeah,
What?
you, Becky. Now you got to be careful. Now you can't understand that most women, the majority, I'm talking above 80%. And the only reason it's only around 80% is because some women are actively trying to get pregnant. 80% of women do not know they're pregnant at the 6-week mark because you've only missed one period. And if you've been having a hard day, you've been working out extra hard, you're not drinking enough water, you might miss a period anyway. So it is virtually impossible to know for certain that you're pregnant unless you are looking for it all the time. Meaning, if you're not taking a pregnancy test after every time you get down, you're not going to know if you're pregnant before that 6-week mark. So saying that abortion is banned beyond 6 weeks basically means we're going to force you to have a kid. Some states are even trying to do something crazy about offering the death penalty for women who aborted a fetus. So you don't kill the mother for killing the fetus. It's not protecting the fetus because if you kill her, how's that work? The math ain't mathing, right? But all of this comes back to a lot of Republicans are like, I never thought they would betray me like this. Well, they betrayed me.
Well,
They betrayed my LGBTQ friends. They betrayed my immigrant friends. You thought you were special. You've been thinking you were special since 1776. And that's the problem. You're not. Everyone is
1619.
expendable except the person signing the papers. And guess what? They got you too. And now that they have, you're seeing, remember, everything else is decided by popular vote except for the Electoral College and the presidency. And so all these other popular votes, people are like, nah, bro, we ain't doing that. And if we get these Senate seats and we have a majority, not a supermajority, but a majority in the Senate, we don't have to worry about filibuster. We can move some stuff through and we can actually codify a lot of the things that have been put in danger by the overturning of Roe v. Wade. I don't want to make light of how terrible I believe that overturning decision was. However, if it spurs Congress into action, it spurs the United States people into realizing, hey, your very freedoms that you love so much are in jeopardy and vote differently on that, then let's put some power.
Wait,
What
what is going on? What is going on?
Hey,
Welcome
Sharpie.
back. First of all, the hair is fly as hell.
When
You
is
know,
it
I couldn't
not?
come
Girl,
in for it.
ladies and gentlemen, Sharon Letman.
Sharone, that's Monet, Hicksone. What's up?
I just came to say I miss y'all dearly. Dearly. I am so proud of the light-skinned twins holding it down. And I just stopped by to say I love y'all. Hello. Keep up the amazing work. I promise you, me and Chuck gonna come back real soon. He is actually up working and on my behalf. So we are going to keep it real. We're going to keep this show going. The light-skinned twins are holding it down like rock stars. And I just stopped by to say I love y'all.
Thank you so much, Sharon. I am so, oh my gosh, I can't tell you how happy I am to see you right now. Oh my gosh, that was such a
This is after
wonderful
2 long weeks
surprise.
of
Chat room is
I
blowing
said,
up.
"Fuck it, I'm
Oh,
going to
okay, the
Kentucky."
chat is on fire. Oh my gosh, I wish I had known this was coming, but it's
There wouldn't be no
thank you so much.
fun if you
We're
didn't.
we're we are
Joy Boo, I
here.
love you. I miss you.
I miss you. I love you too. It's so good to see your face.
You look
You
great.
know our love and hearts and prayers and everything with you, my sister, my soror. You just made my whole month.
I
So
know
good
that's
to see
right.
you.
And I'm gonna see you in October. I'm
I
flying right
know.
into Tallahassee.
If
So
not sooner.
When is y'all's homecoming?
it's the end. It's the 28th through the 30th.
Okay, that's the week after Spelman and Morehouse homecoming. Are we
Right.
still doing? Are y'all still want to do a live broadcast 2 weeks in a row from Spell House and from FAMU?
I mean, y'all will be doing Spell House. I ain't flying. I can't fly over for 2 weeks now. But we will do, if you and Chuck, because Chuck's gonna be up there with you, if you two are gonna be together, then you can do the live stuff and you can have an audience behind you and yelling and screaming and stuff, and Sharon and I can just do whatever. And then when all of us are together in Tallahassee, I think we could actually have a live studio audience. I think we might, Sharon. I'm putting this into the wind right now. I think we might be able to do something at the School of Communications.
Okay. But they're opening a new display across the street on the AC Plaza that's
Okay.
dedicated to the jails not bail era
Okay.
of when Black activists were imprisoned in Tallahassee.
Okay.
And the unveiling is Thursday of this week. But it's amazing. It'll be an amazing backdrop. So if we can't get on campus, it's definitely an option that you'll get to see.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I think Sharpies, we're telling you now. So we have some Sharpies who are in Tallahassee. If you all want to come to the best HBCU homecoming, we ain't got two universities, and I know people feel away. North Carolina A&T talking about greatest homecoming ever. I know Howard feels away. I see you sucking your damn teeth. You got two
I was
institutions
like,
for
you
your.
really tried her with that
I
one.
did, because you got Morris Brown and Clark Atlanta, but FAMU is still FAMU, baby. We had
I said
ESPN.
Spelman and Morehouse. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm just saying, you got an AU center. You're going to tromp right across them yards and diss your other people while you celebrating your spell houseness.
That's part of the
FAMU ain't got
tradition
to
is
do
to
that.
diss the other people.
I get it. We ain't got nobody to diss because we just FAMU.
Really?
So it's just, I mean, we could diss Jackson State. Please,
If
Rattlers.
there's,
Please.
that's just something we had to adapt to.
We do had to adapt to. But we are going to have all four of the steel sharpened steelists in the same space, and I'm claiming it. We are going to do a live something. We're going to figure out what we're going to be able to do it.
I will tell you, I will be in Boston that weekend. I've already planned to go. I'm doing a favor for a friend. I'm sorry, I will not be able to come to FAMU's homecoming, but I hope that y'all do have to, because last year doing homecoming, y'all was faded. I don't believe you made it. Did y'all actually make it?
We did stream something.
15-minute show.
No, we did. It was like a
Me
15.
and Tom
It was
did
a
a
15,
5-minute segment.
something like that. But
Somewhere
we're gonna
between 5 and 15.
right. We're gonna figure it out. So that
CJ's gonna take my place down at FAM.
thank you, CJ.
And Chuck should be fully recovered by homecoming. And me and Chuck we'll do a live on location at Spelman Morehouse homecoming the week of the 22nd.
Okay. All right. Well, it's gonna be most of us then.
Ooh, she calling y'all out. She said they streamed a drunken 5 minutes. I remember that.
Ooh. I mean, I'm not saying we weren't drunk. I'm not trying to front. First of all, Sharon was having a reunion with her line sisters, and so it was me.
For those 5 minutes.
Right.
For those 5 minutes. And Tom crashed the reunion.
See, and it was like me and 12 beta alpha deltas. I ain't shamed. I ain't shamed at all. I'm gonna claim it. All I will say is, with Joy not being there, I'm going to be the creamy filling between Sharon and Chuck. And we are going to do Steel Sharpens
We're gonna be no
Steel
Oreo, damn it.
Homecoming Edition.
Yes.
We're going to be a sandwich cookie of ratlericiousness. And so y'all come out. We may be able to figure out, because Sharon basically owns that hotel across the street. So maybe we can go out on that patio.
I just got
we
that.
can we can
That's
arrange
the-
some
That's the only
chairs.
reason I can call in is because I'm slightly lit. No. I was like, fuck it, I'm getting on this show tonight.
I know
Y'all
that's right.
come
But we
by
are
the,
so happy.
Come by the class of 95 tent at Spellhouse Homecoming. That is where I'll be posted up, eating fish sandwiches and broadcasting.
Gene says we should do it at the Will Packer Arena, Sharon.
If we can get some noise reduction, that's the cheering center.
It is the cheering center. They be
And
cheering.
they pack it out.
Well, we'll figure out something. We got all them spaces. Maybe we can go in an SBI room or somewhere with good Wi-Fi so we can stream it. But we're going to be in the easy.
We need some Wi-Fi.
Yeah, we need some good Wi-Fi. We're going to be there. Sharon, I can't. I'm just...
It's so good to see you.
And you look so great. Oh my gosh, I haven't been able to see your face in so long. And you look wonderful. You really do. I'm just so pleased. Okay, so why don't you
look like a conqueror?
You do look like you look like the woman king. How about that?
They never take my power, my power, my power.
I started binge watching Kanan Power Book 3.
Oh my god!
You just call me The Rock.
That was not the one I expected to hear. Is our Rattler brother on that one? Daniel Sunjata Mecca, is he on that one, or is that Ghost?
That's Ghost, I think.
There's so many of them.
He's the tall light skinned one who's bald now.
Ghost.
That's on Ghost.
Between The Rock and P Valley I'm just full.
Oh, P Valley is everything.
P Valley is an amazing show. Think what you want, just from a drama, plot, story, representation, accuracy, authenticity. That show is everything. Not to mention, I learned some things on that show. I'm telling you, watch P Valley. You will not regret it. Keep an open mind, but watch the show.
Yeah, no, it's an amazing show. And looking forward to season 3. So, Sharon,
yes.
Since you are here and you are in the upper left-hand corner, please take us out.
Thank you for a wonderful show, people. I am Sharon Letman Hicks.
I am Joy Stevens.
And I am Tom Cunningham. And this is Steel Sharpens Steel.